Welcome, everybody. It's the 15th episode of the Dynamics 365 Bare Bones Configuration Guide live stream that I'm doing for the Advanced Dungeons and Dynamics 365 series. So what we're going to do, just to give you a little bit of a introduction before I give you some of the prelude, what we're going to do is we're going to be talking today on the last major topic of the general ledger. So for those of you that haven't been following what we've been doing here over the past 14 episodes now, the 14 live streams, we've been configuring Dynamics 365 from the base up. So we've been started with a completely blank system with a couple of small localization changes made to it so that we could run the Dungeons and Dragons sort of theme in it. And we've been slowly building up the application module by module. So right now we're on the general ledger and we're about to finish it. And we've gone out and we've set up the chart of accounts, we've set up the accounts, we've set up some account rules, we've set up dimensions and financial dimensions and a number of things. And in the previous episode 14, what we did is we set up some allocation rules that we did based off either just to set equally allocated departments, or we actually weighted them in the last one. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish this part of the general ledger for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some accrual schemes. So and I'll pronounce that accrual schemes, not accrual. But what those are going to do, those are going to allow us to have what we're going to do is we're going to create a posting and then we're going to accrue it over, for example, 12 months. This is going to be a really short session, and because it's just a simple change. And then just as a little bit of a prelude in the next episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up the final part of the localization, which we didn't do in the earlier sessions, and that's the configuration of the currencies and all of the currencies, and then also all of the currency conversions and the currency conversion rates and so forth. So that'll be really interesting. But let's finish this and have this quick session, and then in the next episode we can talk about something a little bit more exciting as well. So what we're doing as we move through this, and what we've been doing in the past, is we've been moving through the same documentation or the same training material that I've had created for a while. And with the new and updated versions, what we've done is we've changed the format and we've made it a little bit easier for people to go out and take advantage of. And this let me just check. So this nearly the final guide that we have is going out and it's talking about accrual schemes. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through this just like you would if you were doing this yourself in your own self-paced environment, and we'll talk about how you can create those later on. But we're going to go out and sort of create these and show you that the general ledger isn't that scary, and especially with things like this, like accrual schemes, where we're going out and we're making a posting, and then we're saying we're not going to recognize this for X number of periods, and then every month we're going to go out and process the accruals. We're going to create that. So what we're doing as we move through this, we're configuring the general ledger and we're configuring the accrual schemes. And what we're going to see is we're going to see how we can do that. And what we're going to do for this example is we're going to create a 12-month monthly accrual scheme. So what that means is we're going to accrue an expense over 12 months in monthly buckets. And we're going to do that directly within the system. So all of the guides that we have give you a step-by-step instruction. And what we can see is we can see the navigation that we need to do, everything that we work through as we move through this system. So let's go over and switch over and look at the system. So this is the lab environment that we've been working on, and we're currently in the Waterdeep Trading Company right now. So this is this is exactly the same hosted environment that you may use if you want to. Just call us and we'll help you get set up. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an accrual scheme. And what I'm doing here is I'm going out, I'm doing a search, and if anyone's seen all of the previous episodes, then this may be a little bit repetitive, but the way I like to do this, I like to do it through the menu search. And because I know what the menu item is that I'm accessing. And this is the accrual schemes are within the general ledger and within journal setup. So if we go over to the main menus, and if we do the same navigation here, then what we're going to do is we're going to see the journals, journal setup, and then we've got accrual schemes. So this is actually showing us the setup that we need in order to access this. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to get into into our accrual scheme definition. So what we're doing is we're setting up a template on how we want to run these accruals. And I'm going to create a 12-month accrual. 12-month, let's call it a 12-month monthly accrual. So we're just going to give this a description. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to say, what are we going to debit and what are we going to credit? Now, if you're a financial person, then my accounts may be a little bit sketchy here, but you're going to get the general idea of how we can do this. But I'm going to go out and I'm going to post my accruals, and I'm going to post to the other side as well. Now, this is what we're also going to need to do is going to need to have a number sequence. So we haven't every time we have journals like this, then there needs to be a numbering associated with it, and we don't have one. So I'm just going to quickly do what I normally do. I'm going to go into the number sequences, and I went and I right mouse clicked and I went into the details. If you're watching this on the video, you can just rewind and see all this. And this is going to be, I'm going to give it a name. It's going to be accrual. Let me spell that correctly. Accrual. And this is going to be for my journal accrual. Now, also what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this is associated with my company, and this is going to be associated with the Waterdeep Trading Company. And I'm going to add a constant inside of this so that when this number sequence gets generated, then it's going to be distinct. And also we can see that when this is used or when a number sequence is associated, we can see that this is going to be an accrual. You can change this and you make this as long as you want, but it's entirely up to you. And then I'm going to run the, mark this number sequence as continuous. Every time we have a journal number sequence like this, then we need to mark it as continuous. Otherwise, it's going to fail, and it's going to fail pretty quickly. So now I can go out and I can choose my accrual. Now, what I want to do is now I want to choose the voucher behavior, and I want to have a new voucher for every accrual transaction, and or for the accrual transactions. I could say that I want to have this, the voucher, same one voucher for all the transactions, or I could have one for every date, but I'm just going to select a new voucher for the accrual transactions. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to give this a description. Let me spell that right. And we're going to, this is a description that's going to show up on the ledger when we go out and create this. And this is going to be a monthly accrual, and there's going to be 12, whoops, go back there. And I'm going to have 12 occurrences of this. And I'm going to post the transactions, let me see, by day. So now I've gone out and I've saved this. So now I've got an accrual format here that we can go out and use. So if we go out and look at this, then what we've got is we've got all of the accrual details. Now, just as a side note, I went out and I set this up earlier on just to go out and make sure that all of this is working. And the documentation that we've got has been compressed down, and it's more concise than the documentation that I've created in the past. But if anyone ever gets stuck and you're trying to work out what did we actually do, then I actually have the previous version of the documentation is a lot more detailed. So if I go out and if I look at this documentation, if we move through the creating of an accrual scheme, then what we're seeing right now is this is the opening of the accrual screen page, but this is the process that we're working through in this step. It's the same information we saw before, but with this documentation or this user documentation, then what you actually see is you see everything that we do step by step. And if I move down and look at some of these, then what we can do is we can go out and we can see what I'm clicking on along the way. So this documentation is also available in addition to the new and more concise documentation. But I just thought I'd bring that up, that that's available to you if you get stuck and you're trying to, and you can't quite noodle on what we are doing here within the change. So now that we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to finish this off, and we're going to go out and we're going to create a journal, and then we're going to apply the accrual scheme to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to, in this case, we're going to create an accrual, and what we're going to do is we're going to go out and process this. And for this, I'm going to give you sort of a general idea of how this works. And what we're going to do is we could go to our general journals, and we can choose this here in the general journals, or what we can do is we can go to the menu item. Oh, wait, let me go back here to the surface. Just realized I wasn't showing you that. We can open up the general journals, and we can access this through the menu item, or we can go out. In this case, for the general journals, we can go and select the general journals from the menu item. What we're going to see is we're going to see all of the journals that we've been posting, and what we can see is we've been creating a number of journals along the way as we've been setting this up. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a new journal. And this is going to be a general journal. And then what we're going to do is we're going to choose we're going to go into the lines, and I'm going to use that same accrual account just for now. And let's see how this works. So what I did is I assigned the account, the business unit, and the account that this is associated with. And then the offset account is going to be our coin on hand, or our cash on hand, in Faerûn's standard dollars. So now that I've saved this, this journal hasn't really been updated yet. Or we haven't gone out and created accruals. So what we can do is we can go out and we can say, I want to accrue this over a period. And then I can say, I want to do this on a 12-month accrual process. And then what I can say is I'm going to look at the transactions that are created here. So this is processing, and it's taking that rule. And what we're doing is we've got financial tags here, which we haven't configured yet. But what you can see is that we've got our accrual created. Let's make a quick change here, because what I'm doing is I'm accruing this on a daily basis. So that was a mistake on my part. Let's go back and sort of tweak that, because we've got all of these accruals being created. So no bueno on that. So let's go and look at the details. And I want to post these transactions by month. So let's save that and go back. And now let's look at the transactions. Let's go back here. Let's cancel this. So that's going to delete all of the accrual records. And let's go back in once again. Let's go to the ledger accruals and then the 12-month monthly and look at the transactions. And that looks a lot better. So what we've got is we're now accruing these transactions every month. And what you're seeing are the reversing transactions as we're sort of moving through in the accrual, and we're deciding where we want to post this. So from a financial standpoint, this isn't really doing too much because we're posting to the same account and accruing and then reversing it, and so the ledger is going to stay the same. But if we go out and if we use different accounts and so forth and all of that stuff, then our accruals will look a lot better. So what we can do is we can save this and then we can accept it. So now the next time we come in, it won't. All these transactions would already be created and on the monthly basis. So we've gone out and made that change. So now what I can do is I can go, okay, and I can post this. And now that's going to go out and create all of our journals and all of our transactions. And let me see this. Okay, and that may be. I need to look at that. That error is actually that I don't have my fiscal periods going out to 2026. So we'll fix that up. But you get the general idea. So what we've done is we've gone out and created the journal. We've ran the accruals, and then if I had my period calendars correct, then we could go out and post that. Now, let's I'll fix that afterwards, so we won't go into a lot of details. So in this, I knew that today was going to be short because we've only got one item here. We were going out and we're creating our journal and we're posting to the coin on hand, and then we're simulating the journals and we're posting it. And really that's it. So as we're trying to build up these accruals, then we can go out and manage those ourselves. So this was a quick sort of end of the general ledger. So we've been showing some things along the way, but we've really set up the general ledger for now. In the next episode or the next live stream, what we're going to do, as I mentioned, we're going to set up the currency and currency conversions, which is a little bit different from what you may have experienced with normal currency conversions from like US dollars to Great British pounds, Canadian dollars, and so forth. We're going to set this up from silver pieces to platinum pieces, electrum pieces, and all these other things. And then after that, we're going to change gears and we're going to move into the next section, which would be the cash and bank management. And the cash and bank management allows us to create our accounts and create our cash accounts, and then also look at the bank reconciliation, some other things if we decide to go out and do that. Now, just as a side note, I want to thank all of our people that are supporting this project. So this is just a sort of like a self-funded project where we're going out and building all this content for you all. If anyone's really interested in this, then you can go out and you can If you can scan that, I haven't tried that. You could scan the QR code up in the corner, and you can support us on Patreon. Every little bit helps keep the servers up and running and all those things. Now, if, for example, you wanted to go out and do this yourself and set up your own environment, then we've got lab environments, just like the same one that we're doing here, that you can take advantage of and you can use. Or if you want to do this yourself and self-host, then just call us and we can help you create a standalone environment on your own hardware that you can go out and do this, which is actually fun to start off with anyway. So just a little bit of a side note: if you like this, then support us. If you want to go out and do this yourself, then just drop us a note or add some comments along the way, and we'll close off for today a little bit early, but tomorrow tomorrow, the next episode on the currency conversion should be, for me, should be fun. It's getting a little bit more immersive in the Dungeon and Dragons sort of concepts that we've got here that we're building up within the lab environments. So with that, we'll catch you on the next live stream.